At this point, it should come as no surprise that the Ninja patch has more Ninja changes in store for us. If you logged in yesterday and checked out the Kingdom menu, you can see there's a brand new organization sorting by the season of KVK that you're going to enter, and there's even some secret changes to how Imperium works. What? Hello, my friends, and welcome back. I'm Chisgule Gaming, a sponsored content creator for Rise of Kingdoms. And for those of you that zoom out and push this little globe button right over here, a pleasant surprise was there for you yesterday. A brand new menu to check out and explore all of the kingdoms in Rise of Kingdoms. This includes whether or not you're in the off season or you're actively playing a season of KVK, from Heroic Anthem to Strife of the Eight if you're in the season of Conquest, or if you're in one of the previous seasons of KVK, you can see whether or not you're in the off season or you're actually battling and what all of those kingdoms are that are engaged in the exact stage and moment of KVK and that life cycle. They even go all the way back to the preparation phase. And if we get a look at this, there are marks here for both Imperium kingdoms and rising kingdoms. Now, I'm going to talk about what a rising kingdom is in just a moment. The first thing I want to show you, however, is the changes to the Imperium kingdoms. And by the way, if you're getting value from this video, do me a huge favor. Smash that like button, smash subscribe on this video, and let's do this thing, baby. Here is the Imperium marker, Season of Conquest. So if you were in the Season of Conquest, there is a separate Imperium marker now. After entering the Season of Conquest, governors with more than 35 million power cannot migrate to the 24 most powerful kingdoms. Wait a minute. 24, excuse me, hold on. Stop everything. It was 32 before. But let's keep going. We'll talk more about that in a second. Kingdom power is equal to the total power of the top 300 governors. In that kingdom, governors with more than 150 million power will be calculated as 150 million power. So the only big change here is that, first of all, it's Season of Conquest specific. And second of all, this is now limited to 24, not 32. And you may be thinking, Chisgule, why is that a big deal? Because here's the thing. If this number was higher instead of smaller, it would be much harder for players to abuse the Imperium mechanic, as happens today, where people jump through all kinds of hoops, filling their hospitals, not logging in after KVK, and telling their big players to all, again, not log in, to not collect their troops from the Season of Conquest, and all these weirdnesses that don't make any sense that there are options in the game. But players basically hide their power, leave Imperium, recruit a bunch of people, then get all their power back, and then they're like, wow, we're like the strongest kingdom in the game. What do you know? And that whole process is probably not healthy for the game because it makes it harder and harder to get fair fights. You've got kingdoms that are really, really stacked, and that's the way the game works. I'm not knocking anybody for doing it because that's literally what's in the game. It's the most optimal thing to do to abuse the Imperium mechanics. What I'm saying is that because they lowered this number, it is now easier than ever to abuse the Imperium mechanics, which seems really weird to me that they would go that route. I love people being able to play with whoever they want to play with. In that regard, reducing the number of kingdoms that are Imperium is a good thing. Maybe they're looking at how close the power banding is, and they're saying, well, 24, 32, doesn't really matter. Maybe these kingdoms are all so close to each other in power that it's not an issue. But I would have expected them to actually go in the opposite direction, so that instead of having to be on top of their policing of all the ways, the myriad of ways that people are abusing the Imperium mechanics, that instead they're like, yeah, we never have to worry about that because it's the top, 60 kingdoms or 100 kingdoms or whatever they would do. And then it would just be impossible for those top kingdoms to cycle out, recruit billions of power, and then be, stronger than literally everybody. But I'm not a game developer, nor am I in charge of how this works, so they've bumped it down to 24, which does offer more flexibility and more ability to abuse the Imperium system, so we should definitely be on the lookout for that. Now, I also mentioned that I would talk about what a Rising Star Kingdom is. This is until KVK Season 2. Governors with more than 10 million power cannot migrate to either of the two most powerful kingdoms in the region. Kingdom power is equal to the total power of the top 300 governors in that kingdom. Governors with more than 150 million are counted as 50 million. Okay, so it's like Imperium, but it's specific to a region, whereas Imperium is, in this case, specific to the entire Season of Conquest. And if we go to the kingdoms that are in KVK Season 3, surely there is an Imperium equivalent, and here it is. So Season 3 Imperium Kingdoms. Until the end of Season 3, governors with more than 35 million power cannot migrate to the 8 most powerful kingdoms currently in KVK Season 3. Kingdom power is equal to the total power of the top 300 governors in that kingdom. Governors with more than 150 counted as 150. Okay, cool. So there are now brackets for Imperium. There are the Rising Star Kingdoms, which is something that they did mention in the past. There are 8 Imperium Kingdoms, so it's still a grand total of 32, I suppose, but it's very meaningful in the way that they've split these. It's totally a different ballgame. There are 8 kingdoms now in KVK Season 3 that are Imperium, and there are 24 that are in the Season of Conquest. So this is still, I mean, there's now brackets of abusability for Imperium Kingdoms, and that is just going to be really interesting to watch and see how that evolves. The next thing I wanted to point out is that the Lucerne Scrolls Volume 9 is here. And not only is Lucerne Scrolls Volume 9 here, but it was brought to my attention that no longer do you get the books with extra clues that jump you ahead some number of levels. That's something that you used to get if you purchased the Archaeologist, which means, by the way, that it is entirely possible that if you did buy or either the Archaeologist or the Treasure Hunter, and in the higher tier of rewards, you were getting those extra books. I actually think you could get from either bundle. As long as you were getting this higher tier of rewards, you could get extra books in the past that would give you clues for a future version of the Lucerne Scrolls. They would apply to the next version. It's possible that now you would only need to do the Treasure Hunter level in order to get all the way to the end, because you start with an extra 6 levels. I mean, you're a lot of the way there. It's a pretty big jump. I might just spend the $5, actually. I might be able to get there. And the rewards, honestly, for overshooting on this have historically been pretty unimpressive. Like, it's almost certainly not worth the money to overshoot on this, I would think. And even if, okay, you're thinking, well, even if there is value, it's like value in the form of resources. Like, would you pay money for resources? Maybe. But I think that if you have purchased one of these Divine Inheritance tiers in the past, you probably have some clues available to you, jumping you ahead to at least level 6. I'm going to do the $5 bundle probably and make it all the way to the end of this and still be pretty happy. Another quick update. Yesterday I had planned to stream the Eve of the Crusade, but I felt kind of under the weather, which was a bummer. So instead, we're going to be doing that today. Feeling much better. Thank you for asking. Appreciate it. And we are having a smash in Eve of the Crusade so far. It's going to be an amazing KVK ahead of us. We have a very, very active kingdom. Holy jeez. If you'd like to see everything about how the new versions of KVK for the Season of Conquest are working, and specifically we're going to be in the Strife of the 8, then you're definitely going to want to smash that subscribe button so you don't miss a thing. And do me a favor and toss a like on here if you enjoyed this video and you're looking forward to more news about Rise of Kingdoms. Until next time, my friends, you have fun smashing the kingdom.